Hello again, friends, and welcome to a special Side Jobs edition of 151. My name is Adam. If you want to know more about 151 The Show, head over to our website, 151theshow.com, and you can find all the links to everything we do. We're on all the major podcast platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all of that. But the main place to get all the information is 151theshow.com or this station's website.com, whichever you prefer. As I said, this is a special Side Jobs edition of the show, and tonight, being joined by our buddy and pal, Cade Onder from Screen Rant. Hey, Cade, how you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I am hanging in there, just wrapping up 2021, getting ready for 2022. I figured it was time for the obligatory, hey, what was the best video game of 2021, conversation.
Yeah.
How many of those, have you written any of those articles yet?
Yeah, well, since there's so much, we divided up between writers. I wrote up one for the best first-person shooters of 2021.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that has like Halo and Resident Evil and some other games on there that I thought were there's some big names, some names that I wanted to include some stuff that maybe some people wouldn't be familiar with. So I try to get a mix of both. So stuff that people want to have their confirmation bias, but also find new games.
What was in your opinion, what was the best first-person shooter this year?
Halo Infinite. I really, really liked it because I'm a Halo fan, but I also am like really critical of Halo as well. Like the last few have really let me down, and I don't like them. And then this one came back pretty strong and had like a really incredible and fun and creative, inventive multiplayer, and a really fun and new campaign that changes the Halo formula and makes it just really fun and modern.
Oh, cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cade Onder from Screen Rant joining me on the line right now. All right, let's get down to it because I know you have video games to play and do 20-year-old things. Let's break it down. Actually, I've got a couple questions about 2021, and then I kind of want to talk about 2022. Sure. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. 2021, not the best game just yet because I want to save that for a minute. What was the biggest story of this year? Because I feel like we talked a few times about just big story. I mean, you've got, NCAA football coming back. There was, what was that other one we talked about?
I'm not sure.
This is a great show so far.
I know. I would say probably like the biggest one. I don't know if you've been following this or heard anything about it, but there was the publishers of Call of Duty, Activision. They've had a big backlash, I guess is putting it lightly, maybe. But okay. It came out that the state of California was filing a lawsuit against them for sexual harassment, discrimination, and all these other things in the workplace. And allegedly, one of their employees killed themselves because her nudes were passed around at an office Christmas party.
I thought that was for Blizzard and World of Warcraft, wasn't it?
That Activision and Blizzard are the same company.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Call of Duty, and I was like, because I remember that being a really, really big thing for the WoW community earlier this year. I forgot they were connected. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, it's been a really big thing. It's just kept developing throughout the year, and there's you could spend 2 hours just picking it all apart. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And they've made promises to improve the workplace and stuff, but that was all coming out around the time the new Call of Duty was coming out. So it was like, are you saying this because you really mean it, or are you saying this because it looks good and you can sell copies of your new game and all that? And it's messy, and it'll be you have to spend some time with it before you can really see if they take it seriously.
Well, that was the from the WoW perspective, and we've joked in the past that that's my one big video game, but the WoW community was not impressed with what they had to say and their response to the whole thing. Like, it was very wow, way to not care about anything that just happened.
Pretty much it. It's really just been like, it doesn't feel like anything's going to change, and people can say vote with your wallet and stuff, but this is one of the biggest companies in gaming. Like, World of Warcraft is huge, Call of Duty is huge. All these things they make are massive, and these stories, they don't reach mainstream as significantly. Call of Duty is a game for very casual people as well as hardcore people. This story will hit the hardcore, but those casual people that play 3 games a year, I don't know. Will they know? Probably not.
Yeah. Cade Onder from Screen Rant joining me on the line right now. You can find out more about him on Screen Rant. We'll have a link to his page, plus his Twitter handle is @Cade_Onder. I know that's kind of a sad way to kick things off, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
That's probably
sorry.
no. I mean, but in the world of video games and stuff, that probably really is the big story of the year, right?
It really is, yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of anything, but a lot of those kinds of things have dominated the talk around the industry this year. There's been, other things that have popped up, but I guess if you want to, I feel like you'll probably bring this up later, but console shortages are still a problem. And probably will be until 2022. Can't get those, and obviously Christmas just passed, so people are probably like, "I couldn't find one." It's a big problem.
I'm on a hunt for a PlayStation 5 at the moment.
I bet
it's one of those things. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to pull the trigger as soon as I find it. And I looked all over on the sites the other day, and I could not find one because I don't want to buy it. If I'm going to do it, I want mine.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to spend $800,000 for something that you can get for $500.
Yeah, or I know there's nothing wrong with the refurbished stuff, but for something like a PS5, it's like I want the new one that's out of the box. But anyways,
exactly.
Do you think and I brought it up myself because I think it's a big deal in the world of video games? Is NCAA football coming back as big of a deal as I think it is? Or
look, it's definitely not a small deal. It is for sure, because I think there are some people that are just like, I'm not gonna really play any new sports games anymore unless they change something, because especially the last few years, it really does feel like it's always been a joke almost that it's roster updates, but it really does feel that way now. Like, it seems like they're taking away features and you're not getting as much bang for your buck. I think 2K 2022 or whatever was $10 more than it usually was on next gen consoles, and that has a little bit more to it. But it's still kind of like you're charging more, but you're not doing enough. So something like NCAA is exciting because that's something people are wanting, and hopefully it can be more than just Madden with college players.
Well, I think the whole NIL stuff for the world of college sports turned everything on its head. I mean, you've got kids that have never played one snap of college football making millions of dollars. At this point, NCAA football coming back, that's a big one. Was there any other big story you feel like that maybe what was the story that should have been huge that wasn't? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot there, but
honestly, I really don't know. I mean, because we're still kind of going through COVID and stuff, and things are not like in person again. It has still been relatively tame, more exciting than maybe 2020. Still been kind of tame. I think 2022 will be more exciting because I know we're going to have E3 in LA back in person. At least that's the plan right now, and stuff. So, when you have less scripted, heavily pre-recorded stuff, and you can actually be there live and see things, I think you'll get more of that exciting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, onwards and upwards. Let's talk about this. We joked around about it a few minutes ago, but in the world of games this year, in the year of 2021, what do you think was the best one that came out?
I'm always been one of those people who say I don't have a favorite, and that's true. But I can definitely tell you a few of my favorites. Like Halo Infinite, I already kind of mentioned. That is probably, if I had to pick one, that is probably my favorite.
Okay.
And then the new Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out in October is really, really good, and I was not expecting it to be. If you've played or seen the Spider-Man game, it's kind of that quality.
Okay. It's not the thing that they jam-packed into the Marvel Avengers game, right?
No, it's completely separate from
okay,
that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not connected to that. It's not connected to the movies. But, if you've seen the movies, you'll be familiar with the characters and all of that.
All right, so Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a good one, huh?
Yeah, I think that's probably, if you were looking for a really good story game, or something cinematic like that, yeah, that's probably the way to go.
Boy, that Marvel's Avengers one, that just kept disappointing as the year went, right?
Yeah, and they just released Spider-Man into that game, and even that was really disappointing.
Well, you know what? In the world of comic book games right now, you brought up the Spider-Man game at some point, and maybe before we were recording. But that Spider-Man and that Peter Parker are so good in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the height of it. I guess, like, now you kind of mentioned it, is that's probably another big story. They announced the sequel is coming to that in 2023, and a Wolverine game from that same developer.
Oh, wow.
And, so they're doing some exciting stuff. And superheroes are really good in movies, and they have been for a while, but video games have only, in the last 10 years, have only really started to catch up in that regard.
Yeah.
You had the good Batman games, but prior to that, it was always, you get one with a movie, and it was usually not very good because it was made in 6 months or whatever,
Or it was one of those things that was tied directly to the movie, so you already knew it was going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. So, we're getting stuff that is separate from that. We can have the movies, and then we can have the games, which are their own new original stories that have a lot of care and effort put into them.
Well, you go back to that Spider-Man game and how it goes into the Miles Morales stuff. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that Spider-Man is in Miles Morales as well, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And then they'll make a sequel to the Spider-Man one, which Miles Morales will probably be in, right?
Yeah, they've already showed both of them in the trailer, and it looks like Venom and Kraven will be the villains.
Oh, cool.
So,
but
some cool stuff.
It's kind of a cool universe they're making with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, Wolverine is being made with the same developer, so I would imagine, maybe that Wolverine will cross over there at some point and they'll interact, but I don't know yet. They haven't really shared a lot of details on that one.
This is 151 The Show, a special side jobs edition of it. My name is Adam. You can find out more about us at 151theshow.com on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and a whole bunch of other places. Just go to 151theshow.com and you'll get everything. Cade Onder from Screen Rant is on the line with me right now. Before we jump over to 2022, was there a game that maybe people should give a try, like it wasn't huge in the news or whatever, kind of that underdog game of the year?
Honestly, like that Guardians of the Galaxy game, kind of like, I think people wrote it off.
Really?
Because, people saw the first trailer and they're like, oh, it looks like discount Chris Pratt and like all this stuff. And we're just like, it looks like it's trying to be the movies, but it's not. And so I think some people just thought, I'm going to avoid this one. But like I said, that's one of the best games I played this year, probably. Like, it's a wonderful game, it's a lot of the heart that the movies have.
Okay.
And then, I would say...
now you're breaking up.
Or am I? God damn it.
Was there...
I go to that corner.
That's okay. That's all right. All right. What was the one you were going to name after Guardians?
Hitman 3.
Oh, okay.
It came out at the beginning of the year, so I think people forgot about it as the year went on.
Okay.
But that's another great game where it's just a big sandbox of you have a target to kill and figure out how to do it. You can red disguises, you can drop, buildings on them or whatever the hell it may be, and do ridiculous things to achieve your goal. And it's really just all about your creativity in that.
What if you were a hitman that only dropped buildings on people? That was the only...
the best way to do it, right?
No, nothing other than a building. Anyways, Cade Onder joining me on the line. All right, moving over to the year of 2022 coming out. What are the big games, the big stories, and the things that we should be looking forward to in 2022?
In November, I actually went and played this Dying Light 2. This one's been in development for probably close to 7 years now or something like that.
Did you say Dynamite 2?
Dying Light 2.
Dying Light.
Yeah, there you go. It's a zombie game, and the first one kind of had like guns and melee weapons and all this stuff, and this one is like no guns. It's kind of like the modern Dark Ages where, like kind of like The Walking Dead, I suppose, where society has built up enough stuff where they can kind of maintain themselves, but zombies are a problem and other factions are a problem.
Okay.
And it's a game really about your choices and how you want to navigate that world, and whether you choose to side with this faction or that faction, what benefits do they bring, but what cons do they have?
Oh, cool.
And you traverse this big city by parkouring around, so climbing and jumping and running and sliding, and all sorts of cool things. But yeah, I went and played it in November, and I played I think close to like 4 hours of it, and it's really good.
Okay.
It's going to be a highlight.
Looks like that's coming out in February 4th to be exact.
Yeah.
Dying Light 2, we'll put a link up for that. What else is coming out this year?
So they're making a sequel to Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch, the Legend of Zelda game.
Okay.
And that's widely regarded as like one of the best games ever made. And they haven't shared a lot about it, but 2022 it'll release. And, you know, if you like Breath of the Wild, if you like Zelda, that's going to be one to look out for, especially just because if you have a Nintendo Switch, I mean, like, you're looking for things to play, that's going to be, like, an all-timer, you know, like that game, you know, the first one, what they did with that is really remarkable stuff for, again, a game that's on a handheld, and they're going to probably top themselves with the second one. They said that they're inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a game I love, so... I think name dropping that just gets me excited.
I think every time we talk, we bring up Red Dead Redemption 2.
I have to cram it in there somehow. It's such a great game.
You know what? You bring that up though. All joking aside, is what's that company called that does Red Dead?
Rockstar.
What are they? They're putting out something new here at some point, or did they just do it? I can't remember.
No, they. Well, yeah, I guess in November. You want to talk about a big story? I guess that's a big one. They released a collection of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, which were on PS2 and the original Xbox. But this was the 20th anniversary of GTA 3, so in November they released this remastered collection of all three of them, and it was supposed to be wonderful and be like, oh, you know, this is what it was like when Rockstar was just releasing games all of the time. They were always awesome. And they suck. Like, they're really bad. They're buggy, they're glitchy, they're broken. They've fixed a lot of it now, but there's still a lot of problems with it. And it's, you know, if you're someone who holds those games closely, which, you know, I think a lot of people do, because the PS2 era is such a special time for video games, especially those three games. And it really does feel like kind of a kick in the nuts.
You know what? I would hand over fist hand you money for a new Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, so would I. That's a series that I love, and you know, I'm sure they'll get back to it, but I think that they have their hands full with whatever the next Grand Theft Auto is right now, and the rumor is that'll be like 2024, 2025. So we got a ways to go. I wouldn't be surprised. I know the when it was rumored that this collection that just came out was going to happen, part of the rumor was if this does well, they'll go and remaster some other games to kind of pad out the wait time for GTA 6. I have no idea, you know, how they're going to measure that since the game wasn't very good. I mean, they can't blame consumers for not wanting to go and buy their broken products.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I know that they were reportedly going to remaster the first Red Dead Redemption, if that does well. So we'll see that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I'd really like that. Yeah.
Cade Onder from Screen Rant joining me to talk about video games from this year and coming up next year. As we do wrap up, is there anything you're really excited for in 2022? I know there's a couple games there that you said, but is there anything else in the video game world that you're like, okay, this is going to be awesome and I can't wait for it?
You know, we're going to be inching towards more of the progression in PS5 and Xbox Series X, right? We're going to see people fully utilizing that because they've had some time to play around with it. And also, you know, there are some games that are coming out like Starfield, which is the developer of Fallout and the Elder Scrolls Skyrim and stuff like that. They're making this space game, and that'll only be on PC and Xbox Series X, so not on Xbox One. And that ability to leave behind, you know, a 10-year-old console and just be like, all right, we're going to use all this technology, all this power, and not be held back is very exciting.
There you go. When's that coming out?
November 11th.
Oh, so you still got a ways to go.
Yeah, it's a long time.
All right, Cade Onder from Screen Rant joining me on the line. Dude, thank you so much. Have a happy new year, and we'll talk to you down the line, okay?
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, friends, that's going to do it for us. This is a special Side Jobs edition of 151. We hope that you like, follow, and share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to like, follow, and share, and please subscribe on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and all the rest. We've got channels all over the place. As that will do it for us. Have a great rest of the night. We'll see you.